There are so many minimalist habits out there. Some are genuinely helpful and others not so much. After years of simplifying my own life, I have tried a lot of them. Some stuck, some didn't, and some were great for a while but slowly stopped making sense. So in this video, I'm going through 13 popular minimalist habits and putting each one into one of these 4 categories: keep, sell, donate, or trash. Keep means the habit brings a lot of value, it actually works, and is part of my minimalist life. Sell is something that was really valuable at some point, but doesn't quite fit where I am now, so I'm kind of selling it. Donate is for habits that didn't really work for me, but might be very helpful for someone else. And trash, that's for the ones that I think are just overrated or actually make things more stressful, not simpler. Let's start with number 1. Owning fewer clothes. This habit is about keeping your wardrobe simple and intentional. Instead of overflowing closets and endless outfit options, it means choosing quality and versatility and owning fewer clothes overall. For me, this habit actually came pretty naturally. I have never been much of a shopper or trend setter, and I noticed quite early on that I was wearing the same few outfits on repeat anyway. So I just leaned into that, and honestly, it has made life much simpler. Mornings are easier, drawers aren't that cluttered, and I rarely think about what to wear. Because I own less, I take better care of what I have. So this is a clear keep for me, and it's something that I would recommend to anyone, even if you don't consider yourself a minimalist. The second one is 30-day minimalism game. This is a quite popular challenge where you declutter 1 item on day 1, 2 items on day 2, and so on until you have let go of 30 items on day 30. It was originally popularized by the minimalists, and it's often used as a way to kickstart this decluttering process. I did this back in 2020 or 2021, and I really liked it because it made decluttering feel like a game, and it was so easy to track progress. The early days were simple, just a few things here and there, and I felt motivated seeing the daily numbers go up. But toward the end of the month, it started to feel more like a numbers game than an intentional process. The structure gets harder over time, which is the point, of course, but I have to say the last few days were honestly exhausting. You don't realize it at first, but by the end you are actually letting go of 465 items in total, which is a big number. It's still a valuable challenge, especially for beginners, but for me it no longer fits as a habit. I have already decluttered so much that I probably couldn't get past day 7 now, so this goes in the sell category. The third habit is step-by-step morning routine. These routines usually include things like exercise, meditation, journaling, reading, cold showers, affirmations, and maybe goal reviews, all packed into the first hour of the day. They promise the perfect start. Like, if you can just check every box, you'll have the perfect day. And I have tried routines like this before. I really wanted them to work, and they even worked for a while. I like the idea of waking up early and doing all the right things in the right order, but in practice, it kind of always felt forced. If I missed one step, it threw off the whole thing. Instead of starting my day with calm, I felt behind before I even had breakfast. So at some point I realized mornings aren't meant to be like performance time. They are meant to support your life, not control it. If you're trying to figure out a slower, more natural way to start your day, I have actually made a free guide called Unhurried Mornings. It helps you design a routine that fits your lifestyle. The link is in the description. So yeah, this is a trash for me. Simpler mornings with just a couple of calming habits give me way more clarity and peace. Habit number 4 is digital decluttering. This is one of those habits that doesn't seem like a big deal until you actually do it. It's things like turning off non-essential notifications, unsubscribing from newsletters you never read, deleting unused apps, and keeping your phone screen clean and simple. I have done this in small ways over the years, nothing really like extreme, just slowly turning off alerts I don't need and organizing my files before they start to pile up, stuff like that. Because I realized that when my digital spaces are quieter, my mind is too. So it helps me focus better throughout the day, and my phone actually feels like a tool again. So something that supports my life, not something that constantly pulls me away from it. This habit goes in the keep category. I am recommending it to everyone. The fifth one is no buy challenges. These are challenges where you commit to not buying anything non-essential for a set period, like a week, a month, or even a year. The rules usually include things like no new clothes, no home decorations, no video games, no eating out, and only buying true necessities like groceries, for example. These no-buy challenges are designed to bring more awareness to emotional or impulse buying. They really give you a sense of control, and they can help you reset your relationship with spending and clutter. Personally, I think these are great for people just starting out with minimalism. But for me, they have never been a big part of my journey. Even before minimalism, I was already pretty careful and frugal with money. I have always liked saving more than spending. So while I see the value in this habit or this challenge, it's not that needed at this point for me. And that's why this one goes into the donate category. And if you are curious to try it, I would say start small, not with a full year challenge, but something more manageable. 6. Daily gratitude journaling. This habit is all about writing down a few things you are grateful for each day. It's a very, very popular habit and often seen as a simple way to shift your mindset, to reduce stress and feel more present. And honestly, it really does work. I have done this on and off during different seasons of my life, and it really helped me to be more positive and notice things I would have otherwise missed. But over time, I have to say, it started to feel a bit repetitive. The habit itself is great, but doing it every day, gratitude started to feel a bit forced, like something I had to produce instead of something I actually felt. So these days, I would rather just look around every once in a while and notice things that I'm grateful for without having to actually write them down. So this one goes into the sell category. It helped me when I needed it, and I think it is very valuable, but it's not that essential for me anymore. The next one is weekly screen time report and review. We spend a lot of time on our phones, sometimes maybe even too much. So it makes sense that we would want to be more aware of how we are using them. One habit that is meant to help with that is checking your screen time report. It shows you how much time you have spent on your phone and where, like social media, entertainment, or some productivity apps. The idea is that by reviewing the numbers, you will spot distractions and make better choices. But I will tell you my experience. It doesn't really work that way. In the past, I would open this report or see the data there, feel bad about the numbers even for no reason, and then ignore it until the next week. The reports can give you a general sense, but they are often too vague. In my opinion, you would have to actually dive really deep into the data to actually understand it, because it's never really about the quantity, it's always about the quality. For example, spending 2 hours every day on YouTube might be the biggest distraction of your life, or it might completely change your life for the better. And the same goes for almost any app, but all the report shows you is a number. If this habit works for you, great, but for me, this one's trash. I have stopped checking it, and honestly, I haven't missed it at all. Questioning new purchases. This habit is about pausing before you buy something, whether it's online or in a physical store, and asking yourself, do I really need this? Does it solve a real problem in my life? Do I already own something similar? It's such a simple habit, but it really helps you avoid impulse purchases. reduce clutter in your home and save a lot of money over time. This is something that I have done for years and still do, so it's a clear keep for me. I actually made a full video diving deep into this habit, and if you are interested, you can check it here after this one. The next one is counting possessions. At some point in your minimalist journey, you might get curious about how much you actually own. I've done this before with my clothes, just out of curiosity, and it was very interesting actually, and gave me some perspective. I saw how many things I wasn't really using, and it helped me let go of the excess. But beyond that, it didn't do much. It didn't change how I lived or how I made decisions. The number alone doesn't tell you what matters, and it definitely doesn't tell you why something deserves space in your life. So this one goes in the donate category. May be useful to try once, especially early on, but turning it into a regular habit can easily turn minimalism into a toxic numbers game, and that's not the kind of simplicity I am after, and you probably shouldn't either. The 10th one is donation box or bag. This habit is about making decluttering easier and means keeping a designated bag or box somewhere in your home, and whenever you come across something you no longer use or want, you just drop it there. Once the bag is full, you take it to a second-hand shop or local charity. I have had this habit for quite some time, and it has really helped me to stay consistent with the decluttering without having to overthink anything. But now that I have let go of most of the clutter already from my life and home, the habit doesn't feel as useful anymore. It seems that I have reached a point in my life where I don't necessarily need a donation bag around all the time, though I am sure I will return to this one day. So this one is kind of between keep and sell, but I'll just put it in the sell category. It's helpful, I would recommend it, but it's not part of my everyday life, at least right now. Capsule wardrobe. I think this is super popular one. This is a carefully curated set of clothes, usually around 30 to 40 pieces per season, and the idea is that everything mixes and matches easily in your wardrobe, so getting dressed becomes quick and simple. And I think everybody loves this habit because it reduces the decision fatigue and helps to keep your wardrobe clutter-free and intentional. I'm sure it does exactly this, and I'm sure that it works, but I have to say I have never actually tried this system myself, or maybe actually I have had it always since I don't have too many clothes. I'm not sure if they mix and match together nicely, but whatever. But the thing is, I'm not planning my outfits, my clothes beforehand that much. So this one goes into the donate category. The next habit is tracking everything. Tracking can be helpful, but there's a point where it just becomes too much. I'm talking about tracking everything. So your budget, habits, sleep, screen time, workouts, mood, productivity, steps, water intake, like everything in your life, all in the name of living a healthier and simpler life. And sure, it gives you a sense of control at first, but for sure it gets exhausting. It takes you away from simply living and being present. So checking a few things with intention is really helpful. I think most of us do that, but you don't need to monitor every single part of your life to live intentionally. So this one goes into trash category, not because tracking is bad, but because tracking everything all the time just doesn't work. The next one is 1 in, 1 out rule. This simple rule says that every time you bring something new into your home, one existing item has to go. It's most often used with clothes, books, or technology, but you can basically apply it anywhere. The goal is just that you keep the overall number of possessions stable, so your space doesn't slowly fill up again. I use this rule especially with clothing. It's very easy to remember, very easy to apply, and surprisingly effective. What I also like is that it makes you think before you buy. So even in the store, I'm already asking myself, am I really ready to let go something just to buy this? And if the answer is no, it's easy to not buy that thing. So this is a clear keep for me. It's one of the first systems I would recommend building if you are starting minimalism. If you want to go deeper in this topic, check out the resources linked in the description. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to stay kind and meaningful in your own beautiful journey. See you in the next one.